What is up, Gotham fans? I'm Tom from ZD Comics, and welcome to Season 1, Episode 12, What the Little Bird Told Me of Gotham. Okay, guys, so I'm going to start out by giving the summary of what happened in this episode, the main storyline, and the few subplots we have. This is a full spoiler review, so if you haven't seen the episode, watch it and then come back to this part of my review. Let's get started. So, Commissioner Loeb demands the electrocutioner and his mentally insane partner to be captured within 24 hours. Or Gordon and Bullock will both be sent to Arkham Asylum. The electrocutioner's real name is revealed to be Jack Buczynski. Now, the electrocutioner in the comic books is known as Lester Buczynski. So, like, what they're kind of been doing with a lot of the characters is that they're giving them, like, a different first name and the same last name. So, like, when they actually do reveal the actual person, when, my guess is when we get to see Batman eventually, we'll have, like, you can just say, like, oh, that was his brother or his dad or something like that. Now, that's probably what they're going to do with this character. If we ever actually get to see Lester Buczynski, they can just say, oh, Lester Buczynski is just Jack's brother. So, Jack goes after Maroni because of the past issues they had with a robbery. They were robbing banks, Jack was involved with Maroni, and Maroni kind of screwed him over, so Jack's like, you know what? I'm so gonna kill Maroni right now. So Jack personally attacks Maroni. He fails the first time, but he does end up shocking Penguin into unconsciousness, and when he wakes up for the first time, he blurts out that he's working with Falcone. That gets Maroni extremely suspicious, but because he was unconscious, Penguin's just like, you know what? I don't know what came after me, man. I was unconscious. I was just blurting out random things that obviously I didn't mean. After failing the first time, Electrocutioner comes back to the GCPD where Maroni is, and he shocks the entire building, bringing everyone down to their knees besides Commissioner Gordon. Commissioner Gordon ends up defeating Jack with, guess what, a cup of water. Wow, I mean, that's just so simple. You should have seen his face. Jack was just like, ah, shit, wow, that was really obvious. So, obviously, he's not that smart because literally, he had an entire electrical box hidden on his chest. It's like, yo, here's a cup of water. Lastly, before the episode ends, we get to see Dr. Thomason meet up with Gordon in the locker room, and they come together for a kiss. Obviously, there was tension in between them. That's probably going to be connected with Barbara Gordon. There's going to be like some stupid love triangle. I don't really care. They don't really centric around that a lot at all. I mean, we have seen barely nothing with Barbara Gordon. I'm going to say that right now. The only thing we saw with Barbara Gordon, or sorry, Barbara Keene, was that she went to visit her parents. That's it. It was a stupid, boring scene. Her parents are filthy, stinking rich. They're like a bunch of assholes. That's just bad. I'll talk about that later. It's time to get into the mob-centric part of Gotham with Fish, Mooney, and everything like that. So let's get started. Fish ends up taking back Liza after she decides to make her move on Falcone. Falcone knows that Fish took Liza, and he said he would want to leave Gotham. So Fish was like, you know what? I have Liza. You know, I'll kill her unless you leave Gotham. And Falcone was like, you know what? I might actually leave Gotham. He was actually contemplating about just leaving. He's like, what's my purpose here anyway? I don't care about respect anymore. I just don't care. I like Liza. Maybe we can go live in the country. And Zaz, who is working with Falcone, was like, no, 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 attack, attack. Because Zaz just loves killing, you know? He is literally the coolest serial killer ever. He, like, you know, puts some marks on his arm every time he kills somebody. So Penguin ends up telling Falcone that Liza was hired by Fish. Falcone freaks out. When he comes to the meeting to get Liza back, he ends up choking Liza to death right in front of her, throwing the rose on the ground, killing all of Fish Mooney's staff, and Fish Mooney is sent to Falcone's custody in some weird laboratory, probably going to get tortured because Falcone's like, you do not mess with my mother. Because the only reason he liked Liza so much is because she reminded him of his mother, and he was like, fuck no. I hate you, Fish. I hate you so much. The only other subplot we got in this story was Edward Enigma likes to, you know, lay some riddles on Miss Kringle's desk. Now, this part of the story is kind of, like, almost useless, really. I mean, it's like Miss Kringle and then Edward. That's it. He tries again, but ends up leaving in embarrassment after hearing her call him a weirdo. I mean, that's probably gonna what drives him a little bit more crazy. He's like, ooh, I can't get with Miss Kringle. I'm gonna kill people and become the Riddler and destroy Batman. So, yeah, that's what happened there. So that was episode 12 of Gotham for you. Now let's talk about the good and the bad. I'm going to start out with the bad. I have two things written down here. The first one is Barbara Keane's story. Now, like I said, the only thing that happened with Barbara in this episode was that she went to visit her parents. And I think that everything involving her is just kind of boring. Like her lesbian relationship, her relationship with Gordon. she's just, like, she's a good actor. She's hot, you know, like, but it's not really a good story, and it's probably on the bad side of what I like about Gotham. It's just, if they didn't have it in there, really would not care. I mean, so far, Gordon and Dr. Thomason, I'm all up in that. That's good. I hope they can just keep going with that. But eventually, Barbara will get back with Gordon at a certain time. Hopefully, I like liking Barbara a little bit more by then. The other bad thing is still a little bit too much Easter eggs. I mean, Edward Enigma says the word Riddler like every 5 seconds. Ooh, I left a muffin with a bullet in you. You get it? It's a Riddler. Like, he just keeps on saying riddles back and forth, and I feel like they just kind of throw stuff out there a little bit too much. I mean, like, the Executioner, every time a character gets a name, it's always, like, made fun of. Like, even, like, in every comic book thing. Like, for instance, I think it was, like, the Ant-Man trailer. At the end, Ant-Man was like, do I have to keep the name? And then, like, they're like, ooh, you get it? It's the Electrocutioner. And the Flash is like, oh, I'm the Flash. And, like, it's just, everything's made fun of. It's just really stupid. I mean, that's a character's name. Can it be normal? So I guess they just threw too much bullshit Easter egg stuff in there. And that's what I don't really like about Gotham. It's the Barbara Keene story and the Easter egg bullshit. That's the negative side. But now it's time to talk about the good. So what are the two things I absolutely love about Gotham? Well, the first one is Penguin's master plan. I love the mob-centric stuff, but the really good thing about, like, everything involving the mob, Falcone, Maroni, Fish, is Penguin is over everything. Everything is going his way. I mean, like, Penguin is working with Falcone, tricking Maroni, totally screws over Fish, but really, he's gonna be up top. I love how we both know, like, everyone who reads the comic books knows that Penguin is the master. And anything that involves the streets of Gotham, he is above it all. He's above Falcone, he's above Maroni. We don't really know about Fish because she's on the comic books. He's just above it all, and it's awesome to see that master plan he has in his head slowly come to life. The second good thing I like about Gotham is Gordon versus Commissioner Loeb. We saw that a lot in this episode. Gordon went up against Commissioner Loeb. At the end of the episode was like, anybody who tries to take my badge again, I'm going to shove it down their throat. And what's good about that is that we know that Commissioner Gordon is eventually going to become the commissioner. Gordon is eventually going to take over Commissioner Loeb's job. And Commissioner Loeb is corrupt. We all know how Gordon hates the corrupt GCPD. And we're going to find that out in the next episode. He just keeps moving forward. And Bullock's, dude, chill. Like, Bullock knows that everything's corrupt. He doesn't really like it either, but he's just like, I don't care. I don't want to lose my job. I'm just going to go with it. Commissioner Gordon is like, hell no. I'm not going to deal with that shit. And I like that Gordon versus Commissioner Loeb. It's just good, you know? It's like, Commissioner Loeb's like, screw you, I don't care about the corrupt GCPD, and Gordon's like, no, screw you, I'm going to take your job one day in the future. Obviously, he's not thinking that, but it's going to happen. So that's my review of Season 1, Episode 12, What the Little Bird Told Me at Gotham. I want to hear your review in the comment section down below. If you have any comments or questions, please post them down below. Like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're new. My name is Tommy from ZD Comics, and you have a great day.